time to watch the Atlanta Late Show.
Welcome to the Atlanta Late Show. I'm Dallas, one of the staff members here. Tonight we have a best of show. Dave is in the North Georgia mountains, camping and working on some creative content for future shows. You know November is a great month for spotting Bigfoot. And Chuck is out of town in meetings. So at the end of the show, we will go back with Dave and Chuck in the broadcast booth of a radio station. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get started.
The roof keeps the rain out. Your doors can open to new adventures every day, but your floors hold the footsteps of your life. Quality floors at affordable prices. For all your life, all service flooring. 1331 Hiram Ackworth Highway, Dallas, Georgia. 678-464-3446.
Welcome back. In the first segment, Dave wants to buy a gun, and he gets advice from a Metro Atlanta sheriff.
Chuck, do you carry a gun?
Not yet.
So you're going to carry a gun?
I am going to carry a gun.
You don't have a concealed permit yet?
Not yet.
Me either. But everybody I know has a concealed permit and they're carrying a gun. I mean, everybody. I pretty much, and I'm just thinking, I'm going to start carrying a gun. Can't make up my mind, but I want to know what the rules, I want to know what the regulations. So I went and I talked to the sheriff of Bartow County, and I just asked him a few questions about what you can and cannot do. Here's the sheriff. The sheriff of Bartow County, Clark Millsap. Good to see you, Sheriff.
Good morning, David. How are you?
Good. Congratulations in the primaries.
Thank you very much. We were blessed. We did good.
How long have you been the sheriff?
I'm in my 16th year, and after we go and vote for ourselves in November, we'll be 4 more years, so it'll be 20.
County in good shape?
County's in good shape. As far as law enforcement goes, we're a little short-handed. We're hiring right now, so if you know anybody that doesn't have a criminal record and wants a job, to send them to see me, because we're hiring into the jail. If you've got road experience, we'll look at you and maybe hire you straight to the road. Things are going well. We've got some good applications now. Commissioner Taylor, when he bumped up the starting pay for the deputies, it really helped us as far as our recruiting stuff goes.
I wanted to ask you about concealed weapons permit.
Okay.
What are the rules on it? Can anybody get one?
You can go to the probate judge's office. It's a one-stop shop. You go there and they fingerprint you and they take all your information, run your background check, and send it off to the state, and the feds will do a background check too. If you're not a convicted felon, you're eligible to get a carry permit, and it's my advice for everybody that doesn't have one to go get one.
Now, if I can buy a gun, does that guarantee me being able to get a concealed weapon permit?
No, not necessarily. You can buy a gun if you had a dishonorable discharge from the military, or if you've been convicted of family violence and it was a bad situation. You could possibly be turned down for your concealed carry permit. You could possibly also be turned down to buy a handgun. Now, if you don't have a concealed carry permit and you go and try to purchase a handgun, you may be approved to purchase it, but you will have the waiting period while they do all the checks and all the balances and things like that now. And you can get a shotgun or a long gun the same day. Now, if you have a concealed permit and you go to an establishment that sells firearms, with your concealed permit and your driver's license, you'll be able to walk out the door with a handgun that day. So my advice is, I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I'm a firm believer in our Constitution and our Second Amendment. I defend it till the day I die. I want everybody who can legally own a handgun and have a carry permit to please go and purchase a firearm to protect yourself and your family.
I'm hearing different things on the internet or on Facebook about concealed weapons, and if you're pulled over by a police officer, and how to handle that. How do you handle that?
Well, see, here's the thing about carrying in your vehicle. You do not have to have a carry permit to carry a firearm in your car. It's like they consider it an extension of your home. Now, there are some rules to carrying a firearm in your car. If you have it in plain view, that's legal. But you need to remember the two-step rule. If it takes you one step of opening the glove box and reaching in and getting your gun, that's step number 2. Two-step rule unless you have it in plain view. You cannot have it under the seat. You cannot have it in the pocket of the door. That's against the rules. Now, if you're pulled over and you have a firearm in plain view, my advice to you is keep both hands on the wheel, and when the officer steps up, say, "Officer, I'm here, I have a concealed permit, I have a firearm right here on the seat beside me." That way, the officer, you've established a little trust right there off the bat, because that officer doesn't know who's he's approaching, doesn't know who he's pulled over other than what he gets back on the tag that he was called in. He'll know who you are from the call or the tag, or who owns the car. But my advice is, if you've got a firearm in the vehicle and you legally got it there, go ahead and tell that officer. That establishes that little moment of trust. Lets that officer back up a little bit, because he's not so wary anymore, because he knows there's a firearm in the car, but he knows you're not going to reach and get it.
So it's my choice whether I do.
It's your choice. Yeah, it is. I mean, you don't have to, but if it's in plain view on the seat beside you, and the officer sees it, and you don't go ahead and tell him, it's probably going to cause a little tension right there, just for a few minutes.
Okay, with a concealed weapon permit, when can I pull the gun out?
Can you pull it out?
When can I, if I'm in a, when can I pull it out and actually draw it?
Are you talking about in defense of yourself?
Well, let's say I'm in a convenience store and it's being robbed, or I'm just in a, I don't know. So when can you, legally, when can you pull it out?
If there is a felony in progress, or you feel threatened in any way, you have the right under the Constitution to pull your weapon any time. Now, you know, I don't need a bunch of cowboys running around here in Bartow County. And because, you know, I want everybody to get along. I want us all to work together to be safe. But if you're stopping a felony in progress, then you have every right under the Constitution to do that. But I don't want to get into a situation where everybody starts waving pistols around all over the place. You know, if you're going to carry your weapon, carry it legally, be safe with it. I want everybody to be trained in how to carry a firearm and when to pull it and things like that. That's why we offer Citizens Firing Range today. As a matter of fact, we got one coming up on the 13th. It's already full. So if people will keep up on our website and our Facebook page, we're starting back this fall with our Citizens Firing Range today. You come to the firing range, you get 2 hours worth of classroom, you get the active shooter. If you bring your weapon, we'll show you how to take it apart, we'll show you how to put it back together, we'll show you how to load it, we'll show you how to clean it, and we'll let you shoot till you don't want to shoot anymore. If you don't have a firearm, you're thinking about purchasing one, we'll let you shoot ours. You can shoot our handguns, you can shoot our shotguns, you can shoot everything that we've got. Well, I'm not going to let you shoot our automatic weapons. I mean, that'd be kind of crazy on my part, but I want people to be trained with them. That way you'll know, because you'll get the same training that law enforcement people go. So you will know when you can pull your pistol and when you can't.
Everybody, it's the Sheriff of Bartow County, Clark Millsap. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
Hey, I'm Jerry Richmond, City Mucker. Me and my dad opened this place up 20 years ago. If you're fair to people and honest and do good work, people will come back. We have a good reputation. It's worth your drive to come to City Mucker, because it's a family-run and honest business, giving you an excellent job, good price, and guarantee. We're at 214 North Tennessee Street, Cartersville, Georgia.
Image screen printing and window tint can print your stickers, vinyl graphics, and vehicle wrap designs. We use the latest technology in window film to cut patterns for your car with precision cuts. Image is the only authorized Lumar window film dealer in Cartersville since 1988, offering a lifetime warranty on cars, trucks, big trucks, and commercial professional installation. We also have a large assortment of apparel to choose from. You can pick out colors and see available printed shirts for ideas and logo designs. Image makes custom yard signs, banners, magnetic signs, business cards, and much more. Call us 770-386-0025 or come visit us at our new location, 301 North Tennessee Street in Cartersville, right next to Weinman Stadium. Go Canes!
It's been a crazy election season, and these guys put a twist on the immigration issue with stories of Syrian refugees serving coffee right here in Atlanta.
Hillary Clinton wants the refugees to be able to come here. Donald wants to stop them all. Stop them all. Which one has the Christian attitude, Donald or Hillary?
Hillary, but I see Donald's point too, and I see my concern being a grandfather now is we need to have a serious vetting of these people that are coming in. How do we do that?
I don't know.
That's what we need to solve.
The Indians should have vetted us. They should have vetted us, our relatives, because we came over, we just committed genocide on them.
Can you imagine what Facebook, if Facebook had been around back in the Indians and the Pilgrims?
Could you imagine if Facebook was around during the Pilgrims? No, Chuck, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine if Facebook was around during the Pilgrims. But Hillary, she wants the who? Who are we just talking about?
The refugees.
She wants the refugees to be able to come here, and I think that's an admirable trait. That is an admirable thing.
Well, while we're on that note, we had a young filmmaker who is part of the staff here. Happens to be my son.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of the staff here on the set. And he went out and put a story together about some Syrian refugees who came here for a better life. So check this out.
My husband and I moved here 4 years ago. We wanted to live in a place that was strategic, that had, you know, great need, but also great diversity and community.
Clarkston's a pretty unique resource that Atlanta has. It's representative of a larger resource that Atlanta has, which is just the cultural and ethnic and nationality diversity. I had this plan to do a mobile coffee setup in Atlanta, like start my own thing. And in the process of that, I already knew Kitty's son. He said, "Oh, you want to get into coffee? Like, just talk to my mom. She wants to open a coffee shop."
We hired 2 refugees right off the bat, and Lainey was one, Leon was the other. We have actually just hired Leon to manage this space.
I work as a barista or to the cash register. It makes me to communicate often with people. And then from there, I learn so many things.
Yes, sir. After a graphical discount, $7.78.
I learn the American culture too. I learn so many things, and at the same time, it improves my language communication.
Thank you. This is your vanilla latte. Welcome. And your croissant is coming.
He is so invested in our mission.
Yes, the mission of Refugee Coffee Co. is to improve and to help the refugees who just come from this country to find a career.
I'm from Syria, but I came to here immigrant. I have like 6 months so far, and I learn everything here. I don't have any idea before now about American coffees. I will stay here because, you know, now I have job here. I can do anything here.
That is a mission. That's why we have 1 year program of job training. We are using the Coffee Co as a training. It's a way you work and you get a training. You get paid. At the same time, they are making you learning English, and at the same time, because you can't have a career without an English word in your mouth here.
I think much more rewarding is to see them interact with, you know, a big line of American customers at a catering event and be very, you know, fluent in that.
And the job training too is trying to prepare you as a trainee to be ready for the next step after refuge, to be ready to work in another company. We want you to understand the culture of work.
What I love most is that the trainees who work for us take the truck to events. We don't always, our staff doesn't go with them all the time, and they run our business.
Yes, sir. How are you? What we can do for you?
So we're working with refugees, not for them.
We have a blueberry muffin. We have
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what's this, but like banana muffin.
That's, I think, going forward, that's going to be really probably the win of Refuge Coffee is getting to know the culture from the vantage point of the truck.
Hello, this is Dean Lewis, Old Car City, USA, White, Georgia. We have photographers here from all over the world. We got them today from, I don't know where all. Every continent we believe has been here, and probably every state. We didn't keep up the states, we did the countries. We have had them this week from Germany, England, Norway, and maybe another or two, I can't remember, and then a lot of states. Come on up to Old Car City, USA.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Atlanta Late Show.
Hey, I'm Charlie Rich. I want to thank the people of Bartow County for making Goodyear Grassdale Road the success that it is. Come down and say hello to my manager, Clay Nally, a lifetime resident of Bartow County. I've been with Goodyear for 26 years, service you can trust. Come see Clay and Charlie, Goodyear Grassdale Road, 770-334-8977. Goodyear Grassdale Road, 770-334-8977. We treat people right.
So here in the South, they still love to reenact the battles of the Civil War. Check it out.
This here's my boy, I'm his pa. We are that time period after the Civil War from 1865 to 1870 when there was strong animosity between the North and the South. We're not going to stay around the eastern part of the United States. We're going to head west where everything past the Mississippi is territory. This is where I slept last night. And this is where my boy slept last night. We slept close to the fire to keep the wolves away, because we know when you're heading west, you're going to have to deal with Indians, because you're on their territory. You're taking their land. Bears, wolves, highwaymen, and Comancheros. So here's what we bring. This here's my 1851 Colts. This is what I use. To load this is quite unique. On the back of my pants here, I have a powder shaft. What you do is you pull this back slightly so the barrel can turn. You dump a measured amount of powder in each one of these. You take a seal ball out of this pouch, you put it in there, and then you press it in place like this. Wild Bill Hickok carried 2 of these on his hip. Now my boy Jay over there, he's got him a Remington on his hip. Show me a Remington there, son. That's his Remington. That was a popular firearm after the Civil War.
When the Army first was recruiting for the Union, and they were getting their guns, they first bought the Colts, because they were 50 cents cheaper to make. After the Colt factory burned down in the middle of the war, they would switch over to the Remingtons. Meanwhile, Remington had already sold a bunch of their guns to the soldiers, both north and south.
Buffalo Bill Cody carried a Remington revolver. The Remington revolver was probably the most famous and most loved firearm. Jay, show him that Henry. This here's a Henry rifle. This came out in 1860. This is the first. This is the first rifle that contained a cartridge. Everything before this was muzzle load. Benjamin Tyler, who worked for the New Haven Gun Company, came up with this idea. And this is the first lever action rifle ever. To load it, you run this up, lock it in place, won't lock. This is where you dropped your ammunition in. Once it was loaded, you let that hammer down, and you're ready to shoot. This gun stayed in the West for a long time, all the way up into the 1880s. What he's got there is probably the most feared gun in the West. That's an 1860 double-barrel shotgun. They call those rabbit ears, the rabbit ear shotgun. Show them up and show how it works.
Here, it's your dog. You're shotgun.
All right. The way it works is you pull these hammers back once you got a shell in the chamber, and then you got 2 triggers here to pull. This one works this one, and this one works that one. Yeah, you can pull the triggers both at the same time, but I sure wouldn't recommend it unless you want to knock your shoulder knocked off. This was probably the most feared firearm of the early days of the West. Just think about it. Someone's got a double-barrel shotgun pointing at you. What are you going to think? This is the way we camped. We'll see you on the prairie if we make it there. We're heading to South Dakota. To Deadwood, South Dakota. Maybe we can get us some gold. Oh, and by the way, people didn't smile back then because there wasn't nothing to smile about.
Hi, I'm Don Weathers from 24 Bell Bottom. We're located on Xena Drive, just right down from the jail. You can't miss me with this big bright yellow building and the red trim. And there's my phone number right there. Put it in your phone. Keep me on speed dial. You never know when you're going to need me. But I guarantee you when you do, I'm going to treat you like family, and we're going to get you out of jail no matter where you're at in the state of Georgia. We have several locations, so it doesn't matter what you're charged with or where you're at, we're going to come to your rescue. We're going to get you out of that old stinky jail. You call me 770-382-2424, and we'll be there when you need us.
Hey, this is Tim from Treasure Chest. The weather's changing. The only thing that's changing around Treasure Chest is an inventory. We have new sofa sets that starts at $4.99. We have rugs that start at $79. We have table sets that start at $2.99. Mattresses starts at $129. Come on by at Treasure Chest. We have a large selection of used inventory. 927 North Tennessee Street. Like us on Facebook. Beautiful Cartersville, Georgia.
Thanks for stopping by Treasure Chest.
Dave and Chuck both started their broadcast careers in radio. In this next clip, we go back about 4 years when the Atlanta Late Show first came on the air. They do what they do best, talk about strange things.
Let me run something by you I found fascinating.
Yeah, okay.
That there's over 8 million robots in use across the United States today.
Yeah, what is that?
8 million robots. You know, when I was a kid for a science project, my father built me a robot.
Wow.
You remember back, antifreeze used to come in gallon cans? I mean, they were like in a rectangular can. Antifreeze was in a can. Remember, oil used to be in a can.
Right.
So, out of all these cans, he built a robot that had little lights that blinked and shimmered, and it sort of skimmed across the floor. And that was futuristic back then.
Wow.
Well, right now there's over 8 million robots in use across the country today. There's Roomba. You've seen this, a robot that vacuums the house for you.
They're making robots for kinky stuff.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a humanoid robot called Asimo. It can carry trays, climb stairs, push carts, and do a wide variety of cars. Here's the fascinating part about robots.
Okay.
In the future, they say there will be robots that will look human-like, have an exterior that feels like skin, will be able to walk, talk, and communicate with its owner. In fact, they say many people will be able to order a robot with the look in which they desire, and a lot of them will choose them over a human for a lifelong mate.
What in the world are we? What's the value of women? What are we going to need women for more then? I'm serious. What are we going to need women for?
Then you know what? There's also clocking.
Oh, that robot's going to take over those. I mean, they are getting better and better, and those robots, the women robot. I'm telling you, I just don't know what you're gonna.
They'll be able to cook and clean and.
What are you going to need? I mean, seriously.
And do other things.
You know, right now, all these jobs are going away. You go in stores and you self-checkout. You don't need the people. There's a lot of things you don't need anymore. They're doing away with jobs, right?
Right.
Well, they're doing away with women. There's not going to need one anymore. Get a robot.
Yeah, because you can't get a robot to go out and work a chainsaw, cut a tree down.
A robot doesn't divorce you.
That's right.
Sorry. Sorry, man. Robot won't leave you.
This fascinating one called Clocky, which is an alarm clock robot. You have to chase it around the room to turn it off.
Really?
Now, wouldn't that frustrate you?
Yeah. Yeah, I want one of those robots. I think we're coming up. The only thing is, I'm getting old.
Right.
I'm getting old. And that really bugs me. Because, when I was a kid, they didn't have crap. I mean, the toys they had were garbage. You know what I mean?
Right.
They were junk. I mean, you had a wagon.
And you had to pull it around.
And you had to pull it. You had a wagon. You had balls. throwing balls. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's go play dodgeball. What's that? Kid doesn't have a clue. You go play in the water in the hose.
Play dodgeball now, you get locked up.
Oh my! What are you doing? Don't hit each other with a ball. No, kid, that was assault. No, but you had nothing when I was a kid. You had nothing. And now all of a sudden I'm getting up there and they're coming out with all this good stuff. This really good. I mean, robots. I could have the sharpest robot and, well,
Easy.
I'm just, come on. It's just not fair. It's mean. It's just, why didn't they have this stuff 20 years ago?
Right. Now, you secretly could go out and buy you some of these toys and play with them. No one would know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, I don't even know if I'd be able to figure it out.
Right.
I just, and I think TV's getting ready to change too. I think that's going to be, I think, the flat screen TV that's a neat thing. But I think that's getting ready to drastically change too. I think they're going to somehow, and I don't know how they're going to do it. But I think that's primitive to have something on the wall you look at.
Right.
I think eventually it's going to be like a white room in your house, a round, circular, but a white room, and you go sit right in the middle of the room, and well, you're right in the middle of the war zone. You know what I mean?
Right.
You sitting there, it's to your left, it's to your right, it's behind you. You're looking behind you. There's stuff going on. There's in front of you. There's stuff going on, and if there's a battle scene, you're in the field with them. I do think that's coming, don't you?
That would be great.
Oh, I think, well...
Especially for the kind of movies you watch.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Have your fun, Chuck. All right. 770-382-1270 if you want to contribute. But, no, I think... I'm looking forward to all this stuff. But I don't even know if I'll be able to... Because I see, when you get old, you have a hard time with this stuff. You gotta find a 15-year-old to explain it to you.
Isn't that the truth?
You do. You need a 10-year-old can explain it to you. Here, you need to do this. Showing you stuff, and then you still don't understand it. They show you something that you still don't get it. What? Sorry, what? What do you do? Only thing I want to do is smash it. But, all kinds of neat stuff. When I was a kid, they didn't have nothing. It was boring.
Now, be honest. Right now,
yeah.
If it was affordable, and you could go pick out a robot that was so human-like.
Yeah.
And say it's affordable.
Yeah.
And you could purchase it for a mate, would you? To keep you company around the house, watch TV with, to talk to?
If it was affordable, I'd probably get a couple of them. Twins. No, I don't know. They'd probably get on my nerves.
You put them out in the rain.
They'd get on my nerves. Quit talking to me. Yeah, they just something. I don't know. Would I? I don't know. It'd be kind of weird to have them around all the time. You're making me uncomfortable.
They never require sleep.
Never require sleep, and they just look at you.
You wake up and they're sitting there looking at you.
Looking at you with big eyes. What are you thinking? No, that'd be kind of weird.
Well, that's a wrap for our show tonight. Dave and Chuck will be back in the studio next week. Have a good night.